Today we have a practice quiz for the CompTIA Security Plus SY0-701 exam. This is for the first section of the exam, Security Concepts. I think it's actually called General Security Concepts. So we are going to be going over Part 1.1, Part 1.2, Part 1.3, and Part 1.4. That's what the questions in this practice exam are going to be drawing from. So let's get it started. If you guys are not familiar with this little software application that I wrote, we have the question, we have 4 possible answers, we have this little skull down here which is going to remove some of the incorrect answers until we are left with the correct one. Then we have the exam that we're drawing from and the section that we're drawing from on the top right-hand corner. So which of the following is considered a technical security control? Firewall, security policy, security awareness training, or CCTV surveillance? Technical security control. Correct answer is a firewall. Which of the following best describes a managerial security control? Encryption algorithms, security policies and risk assessments, intrusion detection systems, or badge readers? Which of the following best describes a managerial security control? Correct answer is security policies and risk assessments. Which security category focuses on day-to-day procedures and processes to maintain security? Managerial, operational, technical, or physical? Correct answer is operational. Which of the following security categories involves measures such as fences, security guards, and locks? Operational, technical, physical, or managerial? Correct answer is physical. And if you guys need some more time, you can always pause the video as well. Which type of control? I'm trying to give you a couple seconds to think about the correct answer, but if you need some more time. Which type of control is designed to stop a security incident before it happens? Detective, corrective, preventative, or compensating? Before it happens. Correct answer is preventative. Which type of security control is designed to discourage an attacker from attempting malicious actions? Detective, deterrent, corrective, or directive? Correct answer is deterrent. I feel like there's some softballs at the beginning. It's not going to be this easy throughout the entire thing. Don't worry. Which security control type is used to identify and record security incidents? Preventative, detective, compensating, or directive? Correct answer is detective. Which type of control is implemented to restore a system or process after an incident? Corrective, deterrent, preventative, or detective? To restore a system or process after an incident. Correct answer is corrective. Which control type is used as an alternative when the primary security control is not feasible? Detective, compensating, preventative, or corrective? Correct answer is compensating. Which control type provides guidance on security requirements and procedures? Directive, compensating, preventative, or deterrent? Correct answer is directive. Which principle of the CIA triad ensures that information is only accessible to authorized users? Availability, confidentiality, integrity, or non-repudiation? Only accessible to authorized users. Correct answer is confidentiality. Which security principle ensures that a user cannot deny taking an action, such as sending an email or making a transaction? Non-repudiation, integrity, authentication, or authorization? Cannot deny taking an action. Correct answer is non-repudiation. Which of the following is a key function of authentication in the AAA model? Enforcing access policies, tracking user activity, encrypting stored data, or verifying a user's identity. Key function of authentication. Correct answer is verifying a user's identity. Which method is commonly used to authenticate systems rather than users? Biometric authentication, digital certificates, multi-factor authentication, or security questions? Authenticate systems rather than users. Which method? Correct answer is digital certificates. Which authorization model grants access based on predefined roles assigned to users? Mandatory access control, discretionary access control, role-based access control, or rule-based access control? Access based on predefined roles assigned to users. Predefined roles. Correct answer is role-based access control. I was trying to give you the answer. Because the answer oftentimes, if you reread the question and make sure you don't try to read too fast, you read it slow and you understand every word in there, because there's a lot of times where it's like, which is the most effective, which is not the correct answer, or which is the least effective, et cetera, et cetera. So really, I have done this every one of these exams that I've taken is reread the question, make sure you understand specifically what it's asking, not just try to skim it. What is the primary purpose of gap analysis in cybersecurity? To evaluate and compare current security posture against desired security standards, to encrypt sensitive data in transit, to monitor network traffic for anomalies, or to detect and prevent unauthorized access attempts? Correct answer of gap analysis in cybersecurity is to evaluate and compare current security posture against the desired security standards. Which principle of zero trust focuses on verifying user identities dynamically based on risk factors? Policy-driven access control, threat scope reduction, adaptive identity, or policy administrator? Correct answer is adaptive identity. In zero trust architecture, what does threat scope reduction aim to achieve? Minimizing the attack surface by restricting lateral movement within the network, enforcing least privilege access control policies, implementing multi-factor authentication for all users, or auditing user access logs for anomalies? Threat scope reduction, what does it aim to achieve? Correct answer is minimizing the attack surface by restricting lateral movement within the network. Which zero trust concept ensures access decisions are enforced based on predefined security policies? Threat scope reduction, adaptive identity, zero trust control plane, or policy-driven access control? Which zero trust concept ensures access decisions are enforced based on predefined security policies? Correct answer is policy-driven access control. In the zero trust model, what is the role of the policy administrator? To define and enforce security policies based on contextual data, to monitor all network traffic for threats, to authenticate users before granting access to resources, or to encrypt all network communication? The policy administrator. Correct answer is to define and enforce security policies based on contextual data. In a zero trust architecture, what is the role of the policy engine in the data plane? To enforce access controls at network endpoints, to monitor network traffic for anomalies, to encrypt data in transit, or to authenticate and authorize access requests based on security policies? The policy engine in the data plane. Correct answer is to authenticate and authorize access requests based on security policies. Which term refers to a security zone that assumes all users and devices are potentially untrusted? Policy enforcement point, implicit trust zones, policy engine, or data plane? Correct answer is implicit trust zones. In the data plane of zero trust architecture, what is a subject system? An entity such as a user or device requesting access to a resource, a tool used to enforce access policies, a mechanism for analyzing security events, or a database that stores access control rules. What is a subject or system? Correct answer is an entity such as user or device requesting access to a resource. What component in zero trust architecture is responsible for enforcing security decisions at the resource level? Policy engine, data plane, policy enforcement point, or implicit trust zone? Responsible for enforcing security decisions at the resource level. Correct answer is the policy enforcement point. Which physical security measure is designed to prevent vehicle-based attacks on buildings and pedestrian areas? Bollards, access control vestibule, fencing, or lighting? Prevent vehicle-based attacks on buildings and pedestrian areas. Correct answer is bollards. Which type of sensor detects heat signatures for security monitoring? Microwave sensor, infrared sensor, pressure sensor, or ultrasonic sensor? Detects heat signatures for security monitoring. Correct answer is infrared sensor. Which security measure is commonly used to detect unauthorized access attempts in high security areas? Microwave sensors, pressure sensors, infrared cameras, or video surveillance? Detect unauthorized access attempts in high security areas. Correct answer is pressure sensors. Which type of deception technology is designed to attract attackers by simulating a vulnerable system? Honeyfile, honeynet, honeypot, or honey token? Correct answer is a honeypot. Which deception tool consists of network of decoy systems to detect unauthorized access attempts? Honeyfile, honeypot, honeynet, or honey token? A network of decoy systems used to detect unauthorized access attempts. Correct answer, and it's in the name, is honeynet. What is the purpose of a honey token in cybersecurity? To mimic a vulnerable system and attract attackers, to serve as a fake credential or data entry to detect unauthorized access, to create a network of decoy systems, or to encrypt stored files and prevent unauthorized modifications. The purpose of a honey token. It sounds like an NFT, I know. Correct answer is to serve as a fake credential or data entry to detect unauthorized access. Which business process ensures that security-related changes receive proper authorization before implementation? Approval process, standard operating procedure, maintenance window, or impact analysis? Ensures that security-related changes receive proper authorization before implementation. Correct answer is approval process. In security operations, which concept refers to the individual or entity responsible for a system or data asset? Impact analysis, ownership, approval process, or backup plan? The individual or entity responsible for a system or data asset. Correct answer is ownership. Which term refers to individuals or groups who have an interest in security decisions and outcomes? Backup plan, stakeholders, standard operating procedure, or approval process? Individuals or groups who have an interest in security decisions and outcomes. Correct answer is stakeholders. Which process is used to evaluate potential security risks and their effects on business operations? Impact analysis, test results, ownership, or maintenance window. I feel like a lot of these ones are kind of not that challenging. It's gonna get more challenging in the other sections. Don't worry. Correct answer is impact analysis. Why are test results important in security operations? They define security roles and responsibilities. They determine the required level of stakeholder involvement. They schedule maintenance windows for system updates, or they provide evidence of system vulnerabilities and effectiveness of security measures. Why are test results important in security operations? Correct answer, and it's just ironic that this is actually outside of the button, is they provide evidence of system vulnerabilities and effectiveness of security measures. This bothers me so much, the fact that these are outside the button. The buttons are changing based on the length of the content inside of them, but sometimes there's still spillover, and I have not been able to figure it. I mean, I haven't been in detective mode trying to figure it out, but yeah, I'm not sure why it does that sometimes. I wrote the code, so there's no one to blame but myself. What is the purpose of a backup plan in security operations? To provide a documented procedure for reverting changes if an issue occurs, to determine the impact of a security incident, to manage stakeholder expectations during security updates, or to define who has an ownership over a security process. The purpose of a backup plan. Correct answer is to provide a documented procedure for reverting changes, backup plan reverting changes if an issue occurs. Which business process involves scheduling security updates and changes to minimize operational disruption? Impact analysis, standard operating procedure, maintenance window, or test results? The beautiful thing about IT, and you guys, if you're new to the industry or haven't entered it yet and are doing this as part of school, then you're going to realize this soon enough, is that you always seem to be working when systems are going down and things are broken. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of your job, is to be fixing things that are broken. But even things that you aren't expecting to go down, it just always feels that way. So the correct answer is the maintenance window. Which document provides step-by-step guidance on performing security-related tasks consistently? Standard operating procedure, stakeholder agreement, impact analysis report, or approval process documentation? Half the time when I say things going down, I mean like electricity and air conditioning and things like that as well. So, step-by-step guidance on performing security-related tasks consistently is standard operating procedure. Which security measure controls which applications, websites, or services can be accessed on a network? Legacy applications, service restart, allow lists or deny lists, or dependencies? Which applications, websites, or services can be accessed on a network? Correct answer is allow lists and deny lists. What is the primary purpose of restricting certain activities on a corporate network? To improve employee productivity, to enhance security by preventing unauthorized or harmful actions, to reduce software licensing costs, or to enforce compliance with software update schedules? What is the primary purpose of restricting certain activities on a corporate network? Correct answer is not to improve productivity. Sorry. To enhance security by preventing unauthorized or harmful actions. They care about you going on Facebook at work, but not that much. Not that much. They care more if their databases are breached. Which of the following is a potential security risk when using legacy applications? They often lack support for modern security updates and patches. They require additional server capacity. They do not support multiple user authentication methods, or they automatically update without administrator approval. Potential security risk when using legacy applications. Correct answer is they often lack support for modern security updates and patches. What is a key technical implication of downtime in an enterprise environment? Reduce network latency, increase risk of service disruptions and security vulnerabilities, enhance system performance, or automatic failover to legacy applications. Key technical implication of downtime in an enterprise environment. Correct answer is increased risk of service disruptions and security vulnerabilities. Why is it important to restart a service after applying security patches? To finalize the installation and ensure the updates take effect, to reset user access permissions, to automatically update firewall rules, or to remove inactive user accounts. Why is it important to restart a service after applying security patches? Correct answer is to finalize the installation and ensure the updates take effect. Which of the following is a reason to update network diagrams regularly? To improve the performance of the outdated software, to comply with software licensing agreements, to reflect changes in the infrastructure and ensure accurate security planning, or to optimize database indexing? Correct answer is to reflect changes in the infrastructure and ensure accurate security planning. Why is it necessary to update security policies and procedures? To improve application performance, to automate the patch management process, to ensure they reflect new threats, technologies, and compliance requirements, or to enhance encryption algorithms? Correct answer, again, the one that's outside of the box, to ensure they reflect new threats, technologies, and compliance requirements. What is the primary benefit of using version control in security documentation? It tracks changes over time and allows rollback to previous versions if needed. It automatically enforces user authentication policies. It provides real-time network monitoring capabilities, or it restricts users from modifying security configurations. Correct answer is it tracks changes over time, allows rollback to a previous version if needed. Which component of cybersecurity provides a framework for managing digital certificates and encryption keys? Key escrow, encryption, private key, or public key infrastructure? A framework for managing digital certificates and encryption keys. Correct answer is public key infrastructure. Like the little smart cards. What is the function of a public key in asymmetric encryption? Encrypts data that can only be decrypted by the corresponding private key, decrypts data encrypted with the same public key, manages the storage of encryption keys, or ensures data remains unchanged during transmission. The function of a public key in asymmetric encryption. Correct answer is it encrypts data that can only be decrypted by the corresponding private key. Which of the following is a characteristic of a private key in asymmetric encryption? It is shared publicly to allow data encryption. It can be used to verify digital signatures only. It is kept secret and used to decrypt messages encrypted with the public key, or it is stored with a key. It is stored in a key escrow for public access. A characteristic of a private key in asymmetric encryption. Correct answer, and we basically just touched on this in the previous question, is it is kept secret and used to decrypt messages encrypted with the public key. And this is another thing that I want to mention. I probably mentioned it too much, but when you're actually taking the exam, if you're unfamiliar and you're confused by a question, skip it, flag it, to make sure you know where to come back to. Flag it, skip it, and then continue answering questions that you know, because oftentimes in the later questions, you'll have some indicators to what the correct answer is in earlier questions. So the exam itself gives you some tips and hints along the way, and definitely use that to your advantage, because everyone else will. I mean, definitely use that to your advantage. I don't know what everyone else using it to their advantage has to do with you, but it absolutely does help. What is the purpose of key escrow in encryption? To generate encryption keys for data encryption, to store encryption keys securely for retrieval by authorized parties, to distribute public keys among users, or to prevent unauthorized encryption of sensitive data. The purpose of key escrow in encryption. And you can also think about how regular escrow services, where they hold money, is very similar in key escrow. So, to store encryption keys securely for retrieval by authorized parties. What is the primary function of encryption in cybersecurity? To convert data into an unreadable format, to protect confidentiality, to restrict access to files on a system, to create digital signatures for authentication, or to detect unauthorized modifications to data. Primary function of encryption in cybersecurity. Correct answer is to convert data into an unreadable format to protect confidentiality. Which term refers to the scope at which encryption is applied to a system or storage device? Partition, key escrow, public key infrastructure, or level? The scope at which encryption is applied to a system or storage device. Correct answer is level. Which type of encryption ensures that an entire hard drive's data is protected? Full disk encryption, file encryption, partition encryption, or public key encryption? Ensures entire hard drive's data is protected. Correct answer is full disk encryption. What type of encryption protects a specific section of a storage device instead of the entire disk? Full disk encryption, public key encryption, partition encryption, or key escrow encryption? Correct answer is partition encryption. Which type of encryption protects individual documents without encrypting the entire system? File encryption, full disk encryption, partition encryption, or key escrow encryption? Correct answer, and we already know the other two. We already know it can't be full disk, it can't be partition, and it's not key escrow, so it is file encryption. I say that for one of the easiest ones on the entire course. Which encryption method is used to secure an entire storage unit, such as a disk or logical volume? An entire storage unit. Database encryption, volume encryption, record encryption, or symmetric encryption? To secure an entire storage unit, such as a disk or logical volume. Correct answer is volume encryption. Which security measure ensures that sensitive data stored in a database remains encrypted? Record encryption, transport encryption, key exchange, or database encryption? Ensures that sensitive data stored in a database remains encrypted. Correct answer is database encryption. Which type of encryption protects individual entries within a database? Volume encryption, key exchange encryption, record encryption, or symmetric encryption? Individual entries within a database. Correct answer is record encryption. Which type of encryption secures data as it moves across a network? Transport encryption, database encryption, volume encryption, or asymmetric encryption? Secures data as it moves across a network. Correct answer is transport encryption. Which encryption type uses a pair of keys, one for encryption and one for decryption? Symmetric encryption, volume encryption, asymmetric encryption, or record encryption? A pair of keys, one for encryption and one for decryption. Correct answer is asymmetric encryption. Which encryption method uses the same key for both encryption and decryption? Symmetric encryption, asymmetric encryption, key exchange encryption, or transport encryption? The same key for both encryption and decryption. Correct answer is symmetric encryption. What is the purpose of key exchange in encryption? To generate random encryption keys, to store encryption keys in a database, to encrypt sensitive data using a shared key, or to securely share encryption keys between parties? The purpose of key exchange in encryption. Correct answer is to securely share encryption keys between parties. Which component of encryption defines the mathematical process used to encrypt and decrypt data? Encryption algorithm, key exchange, symmetric key, or asymmetric key? Which component defines the mathematical process used to encrypt and decrypt data. Mathematical process. Correct answer is encryption algorithm. What factor in encryption determines the strength of a cryptographic key? Algorithm type, encryption mode, key length, or transport protocol? The strength of a cryptographic key. Correct answer is key length. Which security feature is a dedicated chip that provides cryptographic functions such as key storage and secure boot? Trusted platform module, hardware security module, key management system, or secure enclave? Which provides cryptographic functions, a dedicated chip that provides cryptographic functions such as key storage and secure boot? Dedicated chip, secure boot. I feel like secure boot is the biggest hint right there in this. And the correct answer is the trusted platform module, also referred to as the TPM module, even though it's redundant. Which device is specifically designed to manage and protect cryptographic keys in high security environments? Trusted platform module, secure enclave, hardware security module, or key exchange protocol? Specifically designed to manage and protect cryptographic keys in high security environments. Correct answer is the hardware security module. What is the main purpose of a key management system in cryptographic security? KMS, key management system. To securely generate, store, distribute, and retire encryption keys, to encrypt data at rest and in transit, to store cryptographic keys in a hardware security module, or to ensure hardware-based authentication. The main purpose of a key management system. Correct answer is to securely generate, store, distribute, and retire encryption keys. Also, if you think about these, a lot of these acronyms, if you get a question for an acronym at the beginning of an exam, whether it's this one or another one, sometimes they are, as I mentioned before, sometimes they are actually fully written out in questions at the end of the exam or another part in the exam. So keep that in mind. I think that's one of the things that I mentioned in the exam tips video that's on the channel. Which security feature creates an isolated execution environment within a processor to protect sensitive data? Isolated execution environment within a processor to protect sensitive data. Hardware security module, key management system, trusted platform module, or secure enclave? Isolated execution environment within a processor. Correct answer is secure enclave. Which technique involves deliberately making source code difficult to read and understand to enhance security? Stenography, obfuscation, tokenization, or encryption? Deliberately making source code difficult to read and understand to enhance security. I believe that technique is to hire bad developers. Ironically enough, as I can't even get the code in my own application working correctly, apparently. So the correct answer is obfuscation. Which data hiding technique involves embedding hidden information within an image or audio file? Obfuscation, tokenization, stenography, or hashing? Embedding hidden information within an image or audio file. Correct answer is stenography. Which security method replaces sensitive data with a non-sensitive equivalent, reducing the risk of exposure? Sensitive data replacing sensitive data with a non-sensitive equivalent. Tokenization, stenography, obfuscation, or encryption? Replacing sensitive data with a non-sensitive equivalent. Correct answer is tokenization. Which security technique replaces sensitive data with altered values to protect personal information? Hashing, salting, encryption, or data masking? Replaces sensitive data with altered values to protect personal information. Correct answer is data masking. Which process converts data into a fixed-length, irreversible string to ensure data integrity? Hashing, salting, digital signatures, or encryption? Fixed-length, irreversible string to ensure data integrity. Correct answer is hashing. Which technique adds random data to passwords before hashing to protect against rainbow table attacks? Key stretching, hashing, salting, or data masking? Adds random data to passwords before hashing to protect against rainbow table attacks. Correct answer is salting. Which cryptographic method provides authentication, integrity, and non-repudiation for digital messages? Hashing, salting, data masking, or digital signatures? Cryptographic method providing authentication, integrity, and non-repudiation for digital messages. Correct answer is digital signatures. Which cryptographic technique strengthens weak passwords by repeatedly hashing them? Key stretching, salting, data masking, or digital signatures? Strengthens weak passwords by repeatedly hashing them. Correct answer is key stretching. Which technology maintains a decentralized, tamper-resistant ledger for transactions? Digital signatures, certificate authorities, blockchain, or key stretching? Decentralized, tamper-resistant ledger. Everyone knows this. This is 2025. Everyone knows this is blockchain. What is an open public? Even people that don't understand tech, even my grandma understands blockchain because that's the world we're living in. What is an open public ledger used for in blockchain technology? Storing encryption keys securely, managing digital signatures, encrypting passwords for secure authentication, or recording transactions in a transparent and immutable manner. Open public ledger used for in blockchain technology. I feel like if you just take a look at what open public ledger is, it gives the answer right there. Recording transactions in a transparent and immutable manner. Open, transparent, transactions, ledger. What is the function of digital certificates in cybersecurity? To encrypt passwords before transmission, to provide secure key stretching, to verify the authenticity that's that word, of websites, users, or devices. It's that time of the day, guys. To replace data with masked values for security. The function of digital certificates in cybersecurity. That one was all over the place. Time to go to bed. Which entity is responsible for issuing and managing digital certificates? Certificate authority, blockchain network, hashing algorithm, or digital signature provider? Issuing and managing digital certificates. Correct answer is the certificate authority. What is the purpose of a certificate revocation list, CRL? To verify the validity of a certificate in real time, to list certificates that have been revoked by the issuing certificate authority, to store public keys for encrypting data, or to store passwords for authentication. The purpose of a certificate revocation list. Think about what a certificate revocation list does. Every word in that. Correct answer is to list certificates that have been revoked by the issuing certificate authority. Which protocol is used to check the status of a digital certificate in real time? CRL, FTP, SMTP, or OCSP? Correct answer is OCSP, Online Certificate Status Protocol. What is a self-signed certificate? A certificate that is issued by a trusted certificate authority, a certificate that is not trusted by default in most systems, a certificate generated and signed by the certificate owner rather than an external authority, or a certificate used for encryption purposes only. Self-signed certificate. Correct answer is a certificate generated and signed by the certificate owner rather than an external authority, self-signed. Which of the following is true about third-party certificates? They are always free and open source. They are issued by trusted certificate authorities. They are never valid for commercial use, or they require manual installation on the client machine. Third-party certificates. Which of the following is true? Correct answer is they are issued by trusted certificate authorities. What is the root of trust in a public key infrastructure? The root of trust in PKI. The private key of a server, the certificate authority that signs all certificates, the initial certificate that verifies the entire chain of trust, or the method of hashing certificates. The root of trust in public key infrastructure. I don't know why I can't talk today, guys. I really don't. I talk as good as I could, apparently. Correct answer is the initial certificate that verifies the entire chain of trust. What is the purpose of generating a certificate signing request, CSR? To create a private key, to request a certificate from a certificate authority, to verify the authenticity of a website, or to revoke an existing certificate. Certificate signing request. What is the purpose? Correct answer is to request a certificate, shocking, I know, from a certificate authority. What is a wildcard certificate used for? To secure multiple subdomains under a single domain, to encrypt email messages only, to secure a single subdomain under a domain, or to authenticate users on a network. A wildcard certificate. Correct answer is to secure multiple subdomains under a single domain. And that is the CompTIA Security Plus SY0-701. The first section, General Security Concepts. Hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you in the next one.